So here we are, Optima Mid 2022. Now this is one I've been waiting a long time for. Oh. Excuse the noises and the pain. I currently have a broken collarbone and many other injuries. And there's a bit of a story to go with that. It does affect this. But I feel I can't even open it without telling a story. It's got that much, ouch, meaning, or not meaning, but that many memories and just an awful lot of nostalgia behind it for me. I remember the very first time I saw one running. Oh, sorry, apologies. Was, I think, in 1988 in a small club in Huddersfield, in the town centre above the Co-op building of all places. And at that point I'd turned up for my first race meeting and I'd got a Tamiya lunchbox, which I do currently have a Tamiya lunchbox because that also brings back lots of good memories. However, like I said, that was the first car that I'd got and built myself when I was 13, and I thought it was absolutely invincible. And then I went to the track for the first time with one of my friends. He'd got a ready to run Nico or something, and whizzing round the track was this sort of fluorescent pink thing, which I didn't know at the time, but turned out to be one of these, or the original version anyway. Now, it wouldn't have been the turbo, it would have been the normal Optima Mid due to the timing. And I remember seeing it thinking, oh, that's quite fast, but my lunchbox will go a lot faster. Right, so I got the lunchbox out of my bag, probably a BT's bag, put it on the track, and I think by the time I'd done one lap, he'd done 3 or 4. Humbled. So anyway, there we go. I don't really know what to say yet. So we've got the turbo sticker set, the windows, and I presume the normal sticker set will be in there somewhere. Really well presented, just like the Turbo Optima. Oh. Anyway, so I was absolutely amazed by the speed that this car was going around the track. It was just whizzing round, absolutely whizzing round. And I didn't ever take my lunchbox racing seriously again after that. Instead, I got myself a Tamiya Boomerang, thinking that would be almost as good, because at that point there was no internet. All we had was Radio Race Car, which had got a 2-page ad from Model Sport in it, which is where I did end up ordering a lot of my cars from back in the day. Anyway, so the Boomerang didn't work out too well. I put a silly modified motor in it, as you do when you're young. I think it lasted about 3 minutes, wouldn't complete any races, didn't turn corners. I thought it would look good with the dual shocks on the front. I can't remember what they were off, but so I put them on and thought it would look even better if I left all 3 on. So it got all 3 shocks on the front, weighed a ton, was absolutely rock hard. Went like stink for about 3 minutes, like I said, and then died. Right, so for me, this car, like I said, it's been a long time coming. I've been watching the internet for it for a few years now. In fact, about 2 years ago, I did buy the Turbo Optima because I wasn't sure how long it was going to be before they'd release this one. So the story with it recently, I really wanted to buy it, but I was trying to be sensible and try to cut the household costs a bit, and thought I will get myself a bike to ride to work on through the bike to work scheme. I think you probably know what's coming here with the sling on my arm and the real limited movement. Anyway, so I got myself a fabulous bike. There we go. With an electric assist on it, because the journey to work's around about 10 miles and I didn't want to be absolutely shattered by the time I got there. So that electric assist means I can be guaranteed to be there in half an hour. Ouch. No matter what the weather, whether the wind is there or not, I can just keep the same pace up. And it was working out brilliant. Until on my last day at work, obviously. I was cycling home and somebody decided to try and overtake me coming through roadworks in a big Jaguar 4x4. Unfortunately, that and the bike wouldn't fit through the roadworks at the same time, and rather than hitting the cones, they moved left and straight into me. Instruction sheet, there we go. Knocking me off the said bike and causing me quite a bit of pain. Got a broken collarbone. I couldn't move for a good while. I had to roll on and off the couch. I couldn't take my own clothes off, and worse things, I'm sure you can imagine. Luckily, painkillers stop me needing to go to the toilet. Oh no, that's not the instructions down there. Anyway, this car that I promised not to order was showing likely to arrive in a week or two. Sorry, I'm not talking much about the car here, I'm telling you a story, but it's because it means quite a lot to me, I think. So I was sat bored, can't even play on the Xbox because I can't move my arms. So I'm just going to put all the bags back in here to keep myself in some kind of order. I'll have a look at the instructions and then get out the bags as I need them, and probably talk through any major steps as I go. And I'll try, what's it called, time-lapsing the rest of it. Right, so where was I up to? Right. So, being laid bored on the couch and internet surfing was about the only thing I could do with one hand. Up pops this. And I just couldn't resist. Feeling quite sorry for myself, sat there not even able to function with daily activity because every part of me was absolutely battered. So I clicked go and I didn't tell the boss. Always a mistake. However, she's very good and forgiving, and he's talking to me already. So, I now have to settle down, have a look through this, and then try and make a start. So, I've got most of the things that I'm planning on running with it. So, the only thing I used to be able to get 5 minutes with back in the day was probably in an Ultima, Turbo Ultima, and I had all the Tekin kit. So, for wanting to put the best stuff in this, because this means more to me than any other car I've had, I've got the Tekin spec R10.5 and the Gen 3 ESC to go with it. I have ordered myself a new 135C battery I've not got a high voltage charger, so I'll stick with 7.4. I'll be running it through the Sanwa XEs, however you say it, Z. I have a receiver ready to go, the one that came with it, because I needed a waterproof one for in the 8th scale. So it's having really top of the line electrics, all been well. Steering servo I've not sorted out yet. For now, I'll probably take the Savox out of the turbo Optima. And I only have one working transponder, which is in the good old XB8 E21, whatever they're called. Oh. There we go. So, this has taken me back to being 13 again. Yes, I probably am having a midlife crisis. I've just bought myself a nice bike and been taken off it. I couldn't afford a Lamborghini Aventador, so this would probably get more use and it'd probably mean more to me, to be fair. Going forward, what do I need still? I've seen some nice JC racing wheels, I think they are, on Model Sport in 2.2. I quite like, there's like a silvery version, which I was planning on going with. Despite it having gold shocks, but they don't have a gold version, and I wanted metallic. Paint scheme, I've spent the last 2 weeks staring at colour charts, deciding what to do, thinking should I do it just yellow like the original. I wanted to do the turbo colour rather than the white if I was doing either of them. But I was thinking, well, back in the day, what would I have done? Would I have painted it the box colours? No, I would have just done my own thing with it. So that's what I'm going to do this time. Probably a more updated colour scheme. Now, despite reminiscing about how good it was, I know it wasn't without its faults. There were bits that broke on it. So my plan's probably for the HD shock towers. And then, I don't know, I'll just have to see how it goes after that. Is there anything else to go with it? Nope, I don't think so, but my plan's to be racing it at Blackpool and Fylde Radio Control Car Club in Staining in Blackpool. They run every couple of weeks. It's quite a small track, but it's really good natured club and it's good fun to race there. All sorts of levels of drivers. I enjoy it whenever I go. The only thing is it's quite late on a Wednesday night sometimes if I'm back in work at 5:30 on a Thursday morning even. But we'll just have to see how we go. Okay.